You must have heard people say, the sky ate it, or the ground swallowed it. But there is a place on Earth where people have claimed that something like this actually happens. This place lies in the western region of the North Atlantic Ocean, between the U.S. state of Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Because these three locations form a triangle, this area is known as the Bermuda Triangle. Due to the accidents and disappearances reported in this region, it has also been given names like the Devil's Triangle and the Limbo of the Lost. But how did the discussion about this place actually begin? He described an area near Florida marked by 3 points where strange activities were supposedly taking place. He titled the article, "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle." After that, whenever people talked about these incidents, they started calling the area the Bermuda Triangle, and the name stayed. The biggest mystery surrounding the Bermuda Triangle was the claim that once you entered the area, radios and compasses would stop working. Electronic instruments would give unusual readings. At the same time, ships and aircraft were disappearing. People were disappearing too. And sometimes, not even a small piece of wreckage could be found. As these incidents continued, people began creating different explanations. Some claimed there were sea monsters. Some believed aliens were present in the region. Others connected the Bermuda Triangle with Illuminati conspiracies. But nothing was ever confirmed. And if you search for the subject, you will find that very few mysteries have inspired as many movies, books, and documentaries as the Bermuda Triangle. In the 1950s, there was some discussion of unusual incidents in the American media. But the term Bermuda Triangle became popular after an article by Vincent Gaddis was published in Argosy magazine. In 1888, there was a ship called Ellen Austin traveling from England to New York. After traveling for 2 or 3 days, its captain, Captain Griffin, decided to take an unplanned shortcut to reach New York earlier. The shortcut passed through the area associated with the Bermuda Triangle. As the ship entered the region, Captain Griffin noticed a small boat in the distance. It was moving in an unusual pattern. He tried several times to communicate with it, but there was no response. Initially, the crew was frightened. Eventually, the captain sent some men to investigate, but when they reached the boat, everyone was shocked. The entire boat was empty. There was no captain, no crew, and no passenger. Everything appeared to be safe. There was no visible damage to the boat. They decided to take the vessel with them toward New York and inform the authorities so that its ownership and any possible illegal activity could be investigated. But while they were taking the boat toward New York, a severe storm appeared. But now the people who had been sent to bring it back were missing. The boat itself was apparently unharmed. After this, they left the boat and continued toward New York. The following day, the story spread around the world. Another famous mysterious ship was the Mary Celeste. It left New York on November 7, 1872, bound for Italy. Later, the ship was found abandoned. The food and belongings were still there, but the captain, crew, and passengers were missing. The ship was searched extensively, but no one could determine where they had gone. Even today, the disappearance remains one of the most famous maritime mysteries. Then came one of the most famous incidents connected to the Bermuda Triangle. On December 5, 1945, a group of 5 military aircraft took off from Florida for a training mission involving navigation and combat exercises. This group became known as Flight 19. The aircraft carried 14 men, including their senior instructor, Lieutenant Charles Taylor. Their planned route was to leave Florida, conduct their bombing exercise, continue toward Grand Bahama, and then return to their base in Florida. The weather was clear when they took off, but around 2 hours later, the weather became worse. Charles decided that they would not complete the mission and would instead return. He checked his compass. It wasn't working. He checked another compass. That wasn't working either. He communicated with the other aircraft, and their navigation systems were reportedly experiencing problems as well. The pilots became increasingly uncertain about their location. The ground team attempted to track them. One of the final radio messages reportedly mentioned something burning at an altitude of around 100 feet. And then, the communication disappeared. So did Flight 19. 5 aircraft, 14 men, and no confirmed wreckage. At this point, a question naturally comes to mind. If the Bermuda Triangle is really so mysterious, why don't we hear about it as much today? People still travel to Florida by plane and ship, and they still travel through the Bermuda Triangle. In fact, it is one of the busiest areas for air and sea traffic. But technology has advanced enormously. Today we have GPS, radar, sonar, satellite tracking, and modern communication systems. Because of this, investigators can understand the causes of many incidents much more easily. There are still accidents that remain unexplained, but that doesn't automatically mean that something supernatural happened. One thing you hear repeatedly in Bermuda Triangle stories is, the compass stopped working. But there is a scientific explanation for compass variations. A compass points toward magnetic north, while geographic north, also called true north, is based on the Earth's axis of rotation. These two directions are not always the same. There are places on Earth where magnetic north and true north align. The line where they align is called the agonic line. This line changes over time. Navigation errors involving magnetic variation could therefore contribute to confusion, especially before modern navigation technology existed. In the case of Flight 19, investigators concluded that human error and navigation problems played an important role. The pilots became lost and eventually ran out of fuel. Today, with GPS, radar, and sonar, situations like these are much easier to track.
After studying the region, researchers point to simple explanations: human error, bad weather, navigation problems, mechanical failures, and unpredictable ocean conditions. The truth is, the Bermuda Triangle is also one of the busiest areas for ships and aircraft, so accidents are bound to happen. Maybe there are no aliens, portals, or supernatural forces here. Maybe it's simply bad weather, human mistakes, and a lot of traffic. But the mystery lives on because people love a good story. And perhaps that's the real mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. Not what disappeared there, but how a few unexplained incidents became one of the world's biggest legends. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe, because our next destination is going to be even crazier. You don't want to miss it.